Luke 15 says, the son said to the father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fatted calf and kill it. And let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead in works and performance, and is alive again in faith in my finished work. He was lost, but now he's found. So they began to celebrate. Well, the prodigal son had it right. Nobody is worthy of the Father's love. This relationship only comes by grace and love, not by behaving, but believing and receiving freely. The prodigal learned that you cannot earn the right to be the Father's son. It is free. His love is free, and his sonship is free. So what did the Father do? He put the best robe on him, which is symbolic for his presence, his gifting, and his power. And he did it freely. And then he puts a ring on his finger, which is symbolic for the legal right as a son, saying, you're my son, not because you lost the inheritance or because you spent your money, but because I give it freely, and nothing can change that. Then he put sandals on his feet, restoring him to his call and his covering. Next, he kills the calf that's provided, not paid for by the son, but paid for by the Father for the Son. This is symbolic of the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, the perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice that is needed. And it too, to the prodigal son, was free. Next, they celebrate. Well, how can you celebrate something you haven't earned yet? Well, it's hard to celebrate when you haven't won. It's hard to celebrate if the job's not finished and you're still trying to earn the Father's love and you're still trying to slave for his acceptance. But now, the job is finished. The Father has provided the sacrifice. He has given freely of the robe. He has restored the call and the right relationship with the ring. The work of Christ and the free love and grace of God is freely poured out and lavished on the Son in spite of the Son. You see, the prodigal son thought after his failure, the best he could hope for was a position as a servant, but not a son. But nothing could be further from the truth. Luke 15. The older brother, he became angry like Cain and upset with the prodigal brother, and he refused to go in. So his father went out and he pleaded with him. He said, but he answered to his father, ready? Look. He wanted to look at all these years I've been slaving for you, and I never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. You see, a works-based mindset like that of Cain's seeks glory and honor, but will only become angry, hateful, and even murderous. The older son became angry because he believed he had a right to receive the sacrifice. So the father pleaded with him about what true love was and how to receive the real free love of the Father, his love. But the older son persisted in an attempt to shift the Father's love from free loving kindness and believing to achieving. He says, look. In other words, take your eyes off of your loving sacrifice, Father, and what you're doing for me and what you're able to provide, and put your eyes on and realize my loving sacrifice for you. The older son reminds and brings to the consciousness of the Father his yoke of slavery that he took on. It was his choice, in hopes to receive the sacrifice and the love of the Father. He further expounds upon this proof for why he should receive the sacrifice of the Lamb. He says, I never disobeyed. In other words, look at my good works. Father, look at my good behavior and my keeping of your law. I deserve the sacrifice of the Lamb. I deserve the covenant blessings of your love and the covenant blessings of the Lamb. You can clearly see here the performance-based, prove-it, works-based mentality that is prevalent and comes from and ends in a yoke of slavery. but it's not the yoke of the Father. The Father's love and his acceptance is free. We don't deserve it. We are unworthy, and we will never be able to slave over nor earn what is freely ours in the Son and provided for by his sacrifice and his love and the demonstration of his free love.
Are you tired of the powerless, fear-based, and works-based teachings? Well, then the Radioactive Trilogy is for you. In this 3-part trilogy, you will experience the radioactive power that comes from shifting your focus from your fears to the finished work. It's time to realize, receive, and release the power that has always been locked up and stored within you.